Hello everyone. I feel like I'm doing this because I don't see anybody else doing this online, and it's very important. First, let me get off right off the bat that the FBI is objectively lying to you. So I have one of my Mauser 98s right here. I have a Mauser 93 and a Mauser 1912, which is the 98 pattern. This is Mauser 1912, the Chilean 98 action. It's clear there's nothing in there. I have a bolt on safety for this because it's not really important. I'm giving the FBI the slight benefit of the doubt on this. I've taken out the two set screws for the two screws that hold the receiver, magazine well, trigger guard, and the barrel, stock together. I've taken off the top handguard because the rifle that the FBI has, taken a photo of doesn't have a top handguard cover. So I've given the FBI the benefit of the doubt. Now I'm going to try to set up my phone in a way it is somewhat, this is difficult. I'm doing this ad hocishly because I'm not really prepared for this, to be honest, which is probably my fault. I should have been more prepared for this. All right, I'm going to attempt to take this apart. So using one of the screws, I'm doing the rear, or one of the screwdrivers, I'm doing the rear receiver screw. Take that out. Now we do the front receiver screw. Come on. These are not in here super loosely. They do take some effort because this thing was not meant to be field stripped in a short amount of time. Took it out. Now I can take the receiver, lock the bolt out of the housing. Receiver's out. And now the magazine and trigger guard come out. You basically essentially have 5 pieces. I don't know how someone would carry this in their pants without the trigger assembly just straight up falling out. It doesn't make sense. This is only in here. This is only held in here by a pin right there that can literally just be pushed out with sheer force. I'm not going to do it right now because it's insanely hard for the trigger mechanism to put back into place. It's under a little bit of spring tension, so once that pin is removed, it just flies out. It's really annoying to put back in its place. Also, I don't know if the shooter had the bolt out or open, out or in. Now, the 30-06 bolt is a bent one. That's pretty common. That's not out of the ordinary. I don't know if he had the bolt out of the receiver or not when he carried it around. I would assume so, because if he did, that's two big pieces. Granted, this would be bent. That's 2 big pieces that would get caught on your clothing that you would probably have to adjust with, or at least adjust with enough with jeans to get used to walking with it, which doesn't make sense. Now, granted, this is a longer one. The stock and barrel wouldn't actually be this long. The barrel would only come out to right here, which isn't much longer, or which this one isn't much longer, but it's still, this still comes up, even if it's right here. It has, I think the FBI report said a 24-inch barrel. Even if it did come out to only here, that's still a crap ton of steel you're putting in your pants while also falling off a roof. It just doesn't make sense. And thirdly, the magazine, this doesn't just stay in the stock. This wiggles out. And this would be yet another thing. If he actually did put this in his pants, this would also be another thing to get tugged on clothing or whatnot. It's not like you can just shove the rifle in your pants without anything getting tugged. There's going to be noisy. It's going to be tough to deal with. It's going to impair you from normal bodily functions, either whether it be walking, running, even with a limp. These 3 things, the trigger mechanism, the bolt handle, and the magazine leaf spring, these are all things that are going to impair your movement significantly. There's no way he ran with this in his pants. So yeah, the FBI is just objectively lying to you. And even within the time frame that they did, you saw how long it took me to take that apart, and I was trying to do it quickly. There's no way to do that quickly. This was meant to not be quick. It was one of the points of these old military bolt action rifles, is that they did not want these. They wanted these to be idiot proof, because the vast majority of conscript soldiers back in the early 1900s, 1920s, or 30s, the vast majority of conscripts were farmers or peasants or people who didn't or people who worked at a steel mill who all they knew how to do was push down a lever. You know, like we're not dealing with intellectuals with the knowledge of the internet when they made these. These were meant to be foolproof. These were meant to be idiot proof. So taking these apart is an arduous process. I even gave the benefit of the doubt more to the FBI. I took the locking set screws out prior because I don't think a sporterized one has those locking set screws in the stock. So I even gave the FBI even more of a benefit of doubt. But this comes out pretty easily. I don't know how this would have survived being in pants, especially while running with a limp. And the trigger mechanism staying together like that, because if there was no stock, this would be held like this. And without the stock, this little tab bar right here, again, that little lever right there that the screwdriver is pointing at, it might be hard to see in the camera, maybe right there, this can just free flow out, given enough pressure. So the FBI is lying to you, and it's so obvious for anyone to see at this point that I don't understand how people are even believing parts of the story. This is such an objective lie. I just don't understand. I don't understand how people could even remotely believe the story. So anyways, thank you for watching. I'm gonna send this to as many people who have more information that I know of. This is different from all my other videos. I felt like this was too important to just ignore. I haven't seen a video of somebody taking apart a Mauser 98 to show either side of the story. I just don't, this isn't my normal upload. I'm sorry. I haven't uploaded in a while anyways, but this is far too important for me to just ignore. It's just too insanely important right now. So, I thank you again. I'm not even going to ask y'all to like and subscribe. I don't feel like that's appropriate. But I appreciate if you watch this. Again, I'm going to send this to as many people with important information that I know. But yeah, I just don't understand. Anyway, the FBI is lying to you. That's the TLDR of this video. All right, see you guys. Peace. Thank you for watching.